Here recently, there was what they're calling a split in the polar vortex, otherwise known as the SSW event. Now, they're saying that this shifted the Arctic air mass to most of Europe as well as the western parts of North America. Of course, the climate alarmists are going to try to point to climate change, and all this other stuff and say that people are the problem, without having any other evidence to go with the theory. Besides, of course, we're seeing changes here on this planet. But what I believe it is a part of a bigger cycle. I believe that this is something that goes back to ancient times. This is a cycle that the planet goes through that they know of. I also feel like some of these things out here are just for show here on the world stage. This seed vault, they can say, oh, they spent millions and it's situated here, but all eyes are on it. The whole world knows where it's at. So I don't buy that. I believe that there's another one somewhere else, hidden, no one will ever know of, for some of the upper echelon type of families here on this planet that are using some of these things just as decoys out here on the world stage. So they could say that they're pumping millions into the seed vault. I believe there's a bigger one, a badder one, in a better place. And I also believe that we are going through this natural cycle here on planet Earth, one of which people are not going to be too much aware of if you're going off of modern day news and science that is connected to different ideologies and agendas being pushed out here globally. It's hard to get to the bottom of it. So when they come out and they state, like a few months back, or whenever it was, that the facility sprung a leak because of the melting permafrost, saying that they had to make upgrades, once again pointing the finger at everyone around the globe that it's your CO2 and all this other stuff, everything that you're doing that's causing the planet to warm up. Now, no doubt, I see that humans do have an effect on the planet. But in terms of the natural cycle here, I feel like it's totally being overlooked. It's being kept hidden. And they're going to try to push these things. And let's not forget weather warfare. Let's not forget the manipulation of weather fronts, of being able to split and control certain weather patterns, basically to give life to them. They can seed them. They can stop them dead in their tracks. They can hit them with pulses of energy. All types of things. So why are we not seeing more news events about them doing things to make things better here on this planet, to bring rain to desert areas where there's a drought? Well, they started to talk about that in a sense, and especially in California, where they started talking about the cloud seeding. Now, a decade ago, if we would have been talking about the cloud seeding and all this, people would have been like, you're crazy. There's no such thing. And we'll be like, yeah, there is. They were doing it back in Vietnam. Just because you haven't heard of it yet or this and that doesn't mean that it didn't happen or not going on. But they are manipulating the weather out there, whether for good or for bad. And we've talked about chemtrails globally, all the metals in the atmosphere, everything else that's going on here on this planet. But in terms of the seed vault, they're trying to say that a dire warning here in terms of this. And if, let's just say the elite had their own seed vault, no one knew where it was at, well, then this would be for the common man, for everyone else out there around the globe. If everything did hit the fan and you could find your way up here and find this and find these seeds, you could try to restart life here on planet Earth. But if it gets flooded out and all this other stuff, what good will it be? Some are saying. Others are saying, well, there would still be something that's salvageable out of the whole ordeal, but is this the right location? Is this where they want to have it stationed forever into the future? A lot of questions. Nonetheless, that's some of the talk here surrounding this whole thing. Wanted to update it. I will leave a link below. This has been Dabu7.